start, David, by thanking you for taking the time to chat with us here at the Christian Beat. We'll be focused all on your latest release, Just Jesus.
Hey, thank you for having me.
Yeah, absolutely. So I do want to start with the project, and just if you want to give a little bit of how long this one was in the making for you, and kind of maybe how your original vision for this project is the same or different from how it ended up being for you.
Yeah, I mean, we started working on it a little over 2 years ago, which is crazy to think about. But yeah, I mean, I think every record that I've started working on, I have realized that the Lord, it's almost like prophetic words. The words that He has given me are usually the words that are going to carry me forward.
Mm-hmm.
Um, And yeah, I didn't know what I was stepping into, even in 2024, and the words that came for this record uh, have different meaning now on the other side of this than when I first started writing them. 2024 was, I mean, it wasn't crazy, but it was like it started out at just like we lost three grandparents. My youngest daughter had some medical complications, um, and it was just like the start of the year felt like we just kept getting kicked in the teeth over and over again. And you never know when you're gonna need the words, and then all of a sudden you need the words. Um, so yeah, I think it hits a little different than what I expected it to do, but I'm grateful for the things that we created and the way that it speaks to me now.
Oh, absolutely. I'm curious if there's any particular track that comes to mind when you just think of that kind of evolution and kind of transition over time of how songs, morph and mean different things to you as you go.
Yeah, I mean, I think, even with just Jesus, we wrote for a church, Charleston, South Carolina, and I've been a part of writing songs for churches for years, and sometimes you have connections with them, sometimes you don't.
Mhm.
And I think for me, when we wrote this one, it was like, oh yeah, this is really beautiful. I love this. This is gonna really serve this community well. And then the more I dug into it, it was like, oh my gosh, like I feel like what this is saying, how this is speaking, is so much for me as well. And so even talking to them about, hey, would you mind if I even carried this song, if I put it out, like that kind of stuff. And so it's just really beautiful to have a kind of a beautiful surprise there of going out. I wasn't even expecting to come out with the song, and then all of a sudden, it's the title track of the record.
I was gonna say, so from that story, the track came first and then it became the title track.
That's right. Yeah. Yeah, this record has been called 10 different things, I think. So,
So what was it about then Just Jesus that kind of like stuck for you then?
man, I think just the simplicity of going, hey, take everything else away. Like, let's strip everything back and just get to the heart of what this is. And it's simply in the need of Jesus. I think we get caught up and hung up in so many different areas. Sunday morning in particular with stages and lights, and, how well does everything go? And the Lord has gone, I don't need any of that. I just want a relationship with my kids. And so I think it's just a beautiful reminder to me that there's beauty in the simplicity, and he just is a father who wants a relationship.
Absolutely, absolutely. And I'm also curious then the artwork for this is striking with the colors and everything. And I'm just curious if you want to talk a little bit about how that was kind of pulled together for you and how it ties.
Man, it was like kind of chance. It was this wild deal. We set up, so the guy who shoots a lot of my music videos and things like that, his name is Elliot, and he built that whole set. So we were in a warehouse. He built this room, um, and just had it lit crazy. We were just doing it for, um, a guy. Man, I don't even know if it was a God of This Place video at first, and then all of a sudden we were there and we were like, "Hey, no, I think it was for a Just Jesus video." We were there and we were like, "We should shoot videos for every single song in this." So we shot a video for every song in that space, and then we started snapping photos, and it's like, "Holy cow, like, this is it, like, this is." And that, I'm kind of that way. I'm like, I love run and gun. I love to fly by the seat of my pants. Like, I think some of the best art comes at the last second, and yeah, this really came together beautifully.
Absolutely. Like I said, it's the colors on that are just striking for sure. So, yeah, I also wanted to ask, so the full project released last week, but you had been releasing some of the singles and tracks leading up to it. I'm just curious, what kind of the overall like feedback that you're getting and where you're maybe seeing the impact that you weren't necessarily expecting to see from some of the songs.
Yeah, I mean, I think you release some songs and you go, these are going to be the ones that really connect, and then you're pleasantly surprised by other things. And um, I think social media has a crazy way of being able to reveal certain things to us. But I think even as the project has come out, like, so many people have written me about, look at what the Lord has done. Um, and we've got history, stuff like that, where it's like, okay, like, that that's those are real meat songs, which you hope they connect with people. And yeah, I mean, I think I try to be open-handed with these things, not try to overthink it, not try to look too much into it, and just go, okay, hey, we've released it into the world now, Lord, do whatever you want to with it. So I'm just excited people have it now.
Oh, for sure, for sure. And I'm curious then when you're putting together kind of like your hopes and dreams for each of your projects, how this one stood out or was unique for you in that regard.
Yeah, I mean, the start of this project, me and like 5 or 6 buddies, we all went out to this cabin, and we were out there for an entire week, and that's how we started tracking the entire record. So we tracked the entire record in this cabin, and it was basically like they were chill versions. They're awesome. They're amazing. But we were like, okay, we might need to ramp this up a little bit. Um, but the way that we approached it there put us in headspaces that we wouldn't have normally been in. You
Hmm.
know, even with some of these intros, like we got history intro, like all that stuff of like dobros and banjos and things like that that we kind of leaned heavier into on this record. I don't think we would have got there if we wouldn't have gone out and done it the way we did. So, um, yeah, that was a different approach for starting this record, and you know, I love it. I love how it made it go down a certain path.
No, for sure, for sure. And I'm curious if there's any track in particular that's speaking to your heart in your current season of life, more so than any of the others right now.
Mm. I mean, I think we've got history for sure. I think definitely, um, my it comes and goes, but I am so reminded to look backwards and see where the hand of God has been. And we've got history as that reminder of, stop what you're doing and take a look around for a minute and like realize that the Lord has been and will continue to be with me through all these seasons.
Oh, for sure. And you had mentioned the videos that you recorded for each of the tracks. Do you have any special plans for those, or in general, when you get out to do those songs live as well? Anything you're looking for there?
Well, they're all up on YouTube. So
Yep.
they're like these visualizer things, which I didn't even know what a visualizer was. But yeah, every one of them's up on YouTube, and some of them are me interacting with the camera, some I'm just like sitting in a space, which is awesome. It's just we've really been, trying to create tools for people to be able to get lost in the songs, and that was just another way to be able to do it.
Mhm. Absolutely, absolutely. Are there any of the, tracks then that you're most excited to do live and be in an audience and, get that interaction back and forth?
I mean, probably "Come Do What Only You Can Do."
Okay,
Just that intro, man. There's something about it that is like it gets me every single time. We've only played it one time live,
okay.
and it was on accident. Uh, I had put it in the set, and it was early on, and I was like, okay, I'd like to try it tonight, and then I was like, nah, I don't want to do it. I want to cut it. And Ryan, my guitar player who fires tracks and stuff, clicks, and he didn't realize that I cut it. And so he launches into it. And so all of a sudden we're in this intro and I'm like, I guess we're doing it. And I could not remember the words to save my life. I was making up lyrics. I'm excited to redeem myself in that. Um, but it'll be good.
I was gonna ask how does one do it on accident, but I guess that is how.
That's how. That's how you do it.
Oh, that's awesome. Well, I know we're getting close to time, so I just want to close giving you the opportunity just to share what your prayer is for this particular project and how it'll impact those that get the opportunity to listen to it.
Man, I was talking about it yesterday on Instagram. Just a lot of these uh, songs tying together with this Psalm 139 thing of that the Lord is promised to be with us in the highest of highs and the lowest of lows. And my prayer is that wherever you are on the map of this thing, I hope that when you hear this, it allows you to see the beauty and the faithfulness of the Lord in these songs, and it meets you there. And yeah, tell all your friends, tell all your family, start playing these songs, get them out, sing them in your church, play them in your car as loud as you can. Uh, all of it.
Awesome. Well, I just want to thank you, David, for taking the time. I really enjoyed hearing more of your heart behind the music and the creation of this project.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.